Hey everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I have a design team project for Color Rush Studio. Uh, it is also Scraptember, and the Scraptember prompt is circle. So as you can see, I have two circles cut out. One is, I think one is 8.5 inches and one is 7.5 inches. So the white is obviously bigger. So I'm going to rough those up with my edge distresser. And then we have a super fun challenge in the Facebook group this month, and it is to cut up your picture. And I'm like, okay. So I was looking through my pictures and I'm like, well, which one? Well, I have this fun picture of my boys and then their best friends. So one of my husband's best friends, so they're best friends, and then our boys are best friends. So they had gone golfing. And so this was the picture. And it was super cool because they were not all like snuggled next to each other. You know how when girls take pictures, they get like face to face, right? Like there's no way you could cut up like a girl photo because they're like one big mesh of peeps, right? So but boys, they don't do that. So I just decided to kind of cut them at an angle, and then I could kind of make it starbursty out of the circles was kind of my thought. So that's kind of where my brain started. And I love this background black and white paper. Like it is just stunning. So I've got that. I've grabbed the Choose Happy acrylic piece from the acrylic kit as my title. It is kind of getting a little bit lost. It does look really good, and I think it still would work, but I am going to switch it out. So right now it's looking very much kind of black, white, gray, monochromatic. And then I was like, oh, I kind of want to pull in this yellow. And then I was like, no, I've kind of got this black, white, gray going on. So I grabbed the Star Frazzle, and I'm going to put that to separate my two circles. And then I was like, oh, I really want the yellow. I really want the yellow. So I'm like, okay. So I have a tag or a label cut out of this beautiful yellow paper already. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring that in. And then I was like, oh, perfect. So it's like sun starburst kind of coming out. I'm going to back these photos in this scrap piece of yellow floral paper that I have. And so because nothing is like square on these, because, you know, I cut the picture apart, I'm actually going to use my scissors and I am going to trim them. And I feel like I did a pretty good job, but I did rough up the edges anyway. That way, if any of them were a little off, you're not going to see. Plus, I had roughed up the edges of both of the circles anyway. So I felt like that totally worked. And this doesn't look like very much of a scrap left. So I do have to be a little cautious of how I put my photos down. So here I was going to put it here, and then I realized, oh, it cuts off the edge. I'm like, wait, that's not good. Oh, maybe it was the other one. I was going to put something down there and I realized it was going to cut off an edge. Oh, I think I was going to put it the other way with the big, I don't know. But I did have to move it around. I feel like there was one of them that I had to, oh, maybe it's this one. Oh yeah, it's this one that I was like, oh, look, that's not going to work. But if I flip it around, then it works fine. I knew there was one of them that I put on and it wasn't going to work. But as you can see, I definitely made it work. I love these scissors. My friend Sharon gave me these Tim Holtz scissors, and they are like, they're so long and comfortable. Like, I love them. So now everything is back, and I was like, I gotta glue some things down. And my tape runner fell out, ran out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the circles, the photos, and the frazzle. And then I'm going to come back as to kind of my plan. And I was like, oh, I'm going to add this frazzle in the yellow. I'm going to bring the yellow down here, and it's going to create a really good place for my title to land, right? And so as of right now, I am still doing the Choose Happy, and I've got kind of the black and white and now the pop of yellow, right? So I'm going through my stuff, and look, there is so much in these kits, right? And so I just dumped everything out on my my little table right there, and that way I can go through. So I'm actually pulling some of the fussy cut frames from one of the pattern paper. I also have that lightning bolt that is like a patch, and I like that. So here's where I was like, oh, I really like this teal color. I want to bring it in. So I started with the acrylic star, and then I went to the fabric tab, and then I was like, oh no, I'm going to use this Be Bold title. And I love this emoji smiley face. I'm like, yep. So now I went from a monochromatic and then I added all, not all the color, but I added a couple of colors. I'm also gonna bring some lightning bolts up there at the top. Those are the eyeballs from my little emoji acrylic piece. And so I'm going to work on this kind of title area a little bit. And ultimately, I'm going to kind of decide that the title area is going to kind of go in a diagonal. So the Be Bold title doesn't take up as much real estate as the Choose Happy did. And so I felt like I needed a few more things. So here I am trying out arrows and tabs and everything. But I'm ultimately going to decide on some more fussy cut frames. And that to me is just enough to make it take up the right amount of space. I did add one of the chipboard labels or tags to the top as well. So here are some close-ups for you. Will have all the links for the shop down below, and make sure that you use my code Crystal10, and that'll save you 10% in the shop. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I love to chat with you. And remember to see you tomorrow.